Howard Yu with me, who is Professor of Management and Innovation at IMD Business School, joining me from Switzerland this morning. Morning, Howard.
Good morning.
What's this report really telling us? People are starting to see, well, Tesla, if you're driving up and down the motorways of the UK, you'll see plenty of them about. I even noticed yesterday as I was driving around, not in my Tesla, in my old petrol Vauxhall, a green bus in front of me yesterday, and as I got up close to it, nearer the traffic lights, it was a BYD bus. I hadn't quite realised that all these buses that are around me in Manchester, so many of them were made by BYD. What are you telling us with your indicator this morning?
I mean, it is highly competitive, and historically, we're talking about just 2-3 years ago, Tesla advantage is unparalleled, and this year's report really showed us how BYD and a number of middle pack car company have already catching up. Of course, for one quarter, BYD sales in terms of EV even surpass Tesla. So your observation about buses around is very real. Tesla is getting close in these days.
Right, and so what's going to be the tipping point here? Because we're hearing about tariffs and the US saying no, we're going to put 100% tariffs on electric vehicles imported into the US. Here in the UK, you heard the likes of Stellantis that own brands like Vauxhall saying, do you know what, we're going to have to start selling some of these Chinese cars. We're going to tie up with some of these Chinese manufacturers ourselves. You've got to be in it to win it effectively. So what's going to be the next step? Are we going to see streets full of Chinese electric cars, or do you think there's going to be a big tax chat before that happens?
Well, there are potentially two scenarios. One is we're going to see these Chinese car makers going to move their factory across border, setting up factory either in Europe and US to bypass the tariffs. And there is a second strategy we're already beginning to see. They're going to sell technology to Western car makers, whether it is a battery or whether this is semiconductor. They simply become a white labeling B2B business to bypass these regulations. So these two are very possible indeed.
Howard, thank you very much for bringing us the latest with that. Howard Yu, Professor of Management at IMD Business School.